Bundled with this composite mastery course, we have the full release of my 2D Planets Volume 2. 2D Planets Volume 1 is a standalone product inside the Daz Store. I've included 2D Volume 2, which is planet, space, and some special effects. But we'll take a look at how this ties into our composite mastery. We're looking at a space scene. We have a woman in front of a window looking out, which I intend to use as space. I'm going to grab a space background. The product itself comes with a lot of space backgrounds. We're going to find one and see which one, pulls something on us. We have, this looks like a black hole sort of vortex. We'll see what we have. Do I like the way this feels? Maybe I want to do something with a planet. This wouldn't be bad on itself and on its own. So we'll remember this as maybe one of the ideas that we have. Let's grab something a little bit more radical. We have this, a purplish space. And of course, I can resize space. If I want to increase the details according to my picture, we could do something like this. I get a purplish glow. I like that. We can play with this one. This gives us a greenish tint, greenish blue sort of tint. That looks great. All right, those might be the three ideas that I start with. Along with the 2D space backgrounds, we also have planets, of course. So we could bring planets in. Decide how close you want to be to the planet. Should it eat the entire scene? Maybe not. Maybe I'll bring a planet in. Maybe just enough of the back curve to realize that it is a planet. Planetoid shape. Maybe something, just, something with the colors. So this is from the Cell Divided Planets. So maybe something else. I also could go with multiple planets. That's another idea that I have. In there is also the isolated PNG of planets. Let's grab something really different. That's a crazy looking planet. And maybe that one could be the one outside of the window. So now we get the fun part of trying to decide which one fits us best. Which one do we like the best? And we could play with combinations. Do I like these two seem to sort of fit together? Those two make a pretty good fit. What else? This seems to actually match that with the greenish. So this is kind of working out already. Artistically, I get to keep this weird black hole thing. But maybe the black hole should be on this side. The planet on this side, maybe. There's lots of tricks that we can pull off and do with this if we want to turn this into a bit of a cloud anomaly. I've shown this before. We'll just do it in this case. And I can lighten around the planet as if it's sitting there in the clouds itself. I've showed you guys this trick before, where now the planet is sort of sitting in the atmosphere. So I kind of like that. That kind of works for me also. So I'll move that planet so that those two can hang out. That's not bad at all. This one. All right, what am I getting? Kind of vibe am I getting from there? All right, this one is sitting in a corridor, maybe. Maybe. We'll do something a little different. Throw this one. Okay, not bad. So we have some spaceship stuff going on. This isn't bad. So what we have is a little bit of the composite is having main feature done with Daz Studio, the render. We have from my 2D Planets Volume 2 a space background and a planet. Good as it looks, we want to get this to be a bit more cohesive, as we've shown some ways to do color in Daz Studio. The reason we didn't do it this time and we went with a very flat render is because we don't know what we're going to put in the background. We don't know what we're going to need for color. We don't know what we're going to desire for color matching. So we're going to play around with a few ideas and basically see what we get. And in a certain way, we just want to, get a feel for how this could be. Skylum's Luminar 4 is a great product for that. Let's take a look at Luminar 4. Basically, this does a lot of color grading. It has a ton of other features. Standalone, also a plugin. It does replace skies. So you can replace the sky in your image. You know, this in case maybe you used an HDRI from Daz and every shot is looking very similar and you wanted to replace the sky. You didn't realize how much it would look the same. And you didn't use our composite method of rendering without the dome. Lots of effects. Portrait enhancer. Adding effects. God rays. They're called sun rays, but you know, we know this from the Daz Store. These are the God rays. You can add God rays. Right? That HDRI look. Enhancing the details of your image. Well, what we're really interested in is the color matching ability and deciding what the color will be. And of course, as we've said before, we kind of want to push this to the extreme. So we're going to use this Skylum Luminar 4 to get some extreme looks to match. Why would I pull this? Because we're talking again about matching the Daz render to possibly the randomly generated art or even anything that's just from somewhere else where I want the energy. I want the shot to look different. And we're going to play with a little bit of those ideas now. So if I started maybe with this super colorful space purplish background, maybe I might want to have this match that. This with the woman in the background. So maybe I'll go with Luminar and I'll call this the purple one. This will be the purple version of it. So I want something purplish to match the background. What I could do is always pull this up for reference, but in this particular case, we just know we need something that matches the purplish. And I could even seal this into the actual image, but in this case, we won't do that today. So we'll start up a version of it. And this is just going to be the Luminar 4, which we're only going to be concerned with the color matching and color grading as a special effect. And we know we want a purplish tint to match. I could have frozen the background into this so I have the baseline, but we didn't really need to. Among the libraries for sale are the ones that come with the program and also some expansion packs. Well, among the essentials, we could take a quick look. Some of the color enhancing and effects, this would be nice. And again, don't forget, right, dreamlike. Don't forget, we can also go the opposite, where I could have colored the room my favorite coloring and then gone back and found the background that matches my favorite vision. Right? We're getting some really interesting looks here. Among the ones that are on offer. Let's see about, we'll go with dramatic. See what we have in the dramatic. Crushed usually is the levels, right? That would be in Photoshop, the levels. This is really nice, right? Super grain, probably good for a flashback dream sequence. Blockbuster, one of my favorites. So maybe we'll go with something a little hard. Let's go back and we had something a little bit purplish. This really does bring out a lot in the shot. And we'll give that our color so that we get something more dramatic happening. And again, I remind you that we could have done the opposite. And now we've got much more interesting lighting than we had before. So there was the flat lighting, which really let the background pop and become the main thing we're looking at, where the background is colorful. Now we've got this with this set can become very nice and colorful. And now the interest is back here again, the heavy contrast. And now my background can become more subdued. So now we no longer need to lean on the planet's background, we can start to do things and pull it away so that now my shot, this opening section, is now going to be the main focus. And I want the energy intensity to be here. That's one of the ways we could approach this. So you understand the process is by matching the color or even just adjusting the color, we can add interest, add some personality, and I can make decisions and decide after the fact. If I baked it into my render, it'd be a little bit tougher to get out of that box. But in this case, now that we know we have a method of it, we can now begin to approach the backgrounds differently. Maybe we like this, and this would suggest to me that, okay, this is close, right? We have the little bit of green in here. It's very close. So we know we want to go with something greenish. Because this combination, I like this black hole thing with the book. I like this triangle that fits here. This is the, the little artist composition stuff kicking in. I like this triangle formed in this area. This is poignant. This is meaningful. The cat seems to be looking at it. I've tapped into something nice. Again, I could freeze the background as part of my image, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go back to Luminar 4. And this time we're going to know we're going in a green direction, that we want something greenish. Teal is close enough. Teal gives us a tint. This isn't even bad. I could also control the amount if I don't want to put the effect super heavy. But, we're going with extremes here. So let's play with an extreme. Let's push it and see what we get. We're going with a greenish tint that should match this. And now we've got a whole greenish tone happening in it. Very nice. I'm liking this. This is probably what I would go with. And again, don't forget we have multiple ways to make adjustments. If I wanted to, I could also lighten. Don't forget this is on a layer by itself. I could also use transparency, opacity, and get it to just touch maybe a little bit more so that the green isn't overwhelming. Or I could turn it up with my color balance. And again, we are free to play with this. If I like the aqua, maybe the planet itself, I want to lean in a little bit. I go with some color balance maybe. And I want the planet to lean a little bit more into that same. So I'm matching these two. And I'm going to basically, think of this as my composite. This is my pieces. I haven't put any effects on this. We haven't drawn any extra details. We haven't done any little line work to cheat and add little things. We've just left it pretty much plain, but we have something nice here. And again, this is using the Luminar 4. There's lots of programs like this. I'm just showing you the one from Skylum. It's very quick and easy, and it has a ton of features along with its sister product, AI. We're just talking about the Luminar 4 and color grading, which is what this boiled down to. When I've got my composite, it could be tough to get the pieces to gel together. Demoing this is my 2D planets Volume 2. That's where the planet and the backdrop came from. You're going to get a folder full of planets. This is just the 2D planets. Big folder of 2D planets. Also, we have the cell-divided planets. Right? A whole lot of planets. And in there, we have some abstract special effects. These are also very cool. Great for backdrops, inspiring, wallpaper. This is really a versatile set. Very happy with this set. Look at that. Great stuff to play with. And that's bundled with the course Composite Mastery.